People deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. Good morning to those of you in the UK. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, good night to some of you, wherever you are in this world. I'm appreciative that we have such a good community here. I'm very appreciative that you guys... I was eating before I came on, but like I was saying before, my mouth started watering. I was about to tell you the fruit I was eating, about to say it tastes nice, but I would have set myself up for failure. But as I was saying, people, I really am appreciative of the consistency that you lot bring me in terms of constructive criticism, praise. You lot are here every day in terms of videos. I really appreciate that. Please make sure you're all hitting the like button. We're gonna get into everything in a hot second. I've actually forgotten what I was about to say to you. I was about to say something very important to you guys. Oh yeah, cheeky shameless plug, Deluded Podcast, DG Podcast, Really and Truly Podcast. As you lot know, it drops twice a week. Latest episode's out today. Obviously, it's on Spotify, it's on Apple, it's on the rest of it. So make sure you're going and checking that one there out. Obviously, for the members, it's Q&A day from 2 p.m. So I'd love to see you all there. Obviously, members, please keep getting your questions in. I think I saw 18 questions. Danny, I see you in the live chat. Emmanuel, I see you. AM, man, see you lot. Man, don't see no questions. So if you've got questions, please get them in. Obviously, there's no pressure. The live chat will be there in the next live stream for you lot to do that. But it is what it is. What's your actual name? It's a secret, bro. If you know, you know. Thierry Dennis. And then one's there. But yeah, big up everybody locked in. 53 people. Please make sure that's reflected in the likes. We're going to go over a couple stuff in a hot sec. But I ain't got no manners, people. I'm moving like I haven't got no manners. What are you lot saying? If we re-sign Lacazette, this club has no ambition. I think that's a bit harsh. Chambers as a backup is not a bad idea. However, Mohammed has also said Lacazette needs to go. We need a new top striker. I don't mind signing him unless you bring someone in better and make him a number 3. Not sure who you're actually speaking to directly, but fair play. Chambers would be on my list of players I'd let go, in all honesty. I'm tired of this club, I can't even lie. Big up yourself, Nathan, regardless. Gonzo has said, I think they'll keep Lacazette for stability, top goal scorer, 2 behind Lacazette, 2 in front of Lacazette, Aubameyang, and try to see if Balogun is going to hit the levels that they expect of him going into the season after next before they sign a striker. I'll get onto it. Personally, I think Arteta wants a striker regardless, but I do agree is that if you look at it, Leno, potentially there's some surroundings as to whether he's leaving. That's an area where I wouldn't say goalkeeper's a priority, an immediate priority. For me, it is, but I wouldn't say it is. There's another situation developing there. Backup left back, first choice right back, central midfield, they're all gazy. So it's almost like we can't trust our club, and maybe they know that they can't do all the business that they need to get done before creating a next problem. So maybe Lacazette, next year, keeping him for 1 more year, ties him over. It gives him that confidence that his future is sorted temporarily. Obviously, he can still be a free agent and does what he needs to do. Obviously, if he was to sign it and, you know, let's not to throw Aubameyang into it, but he goes on an Aubameyang in terms of there's a drop-off in performance. We haven't got him tied down to a long-term contract, in which we currently do have with Aubameyang, and I would say the best example of doing BS like that is Willian. So I hear you. For me, it's an interesting one, though, because obviously if we get into Europe, it changes everything. I don't know how the Conference League goes, my guy, but you'd imagine there's less football. Again, who knows how far we go in the FA Cup next year, the League Cup and all of those things, but we'll only, you know, be playing 38 games. Suddenly, you're not playing those Europa League games. You're not playing those 6 games before the new year or into the new year minimum. Do you get? You're not playing them group stage games. So the squad's going to need to be cut. So one has to wonder if you're less games, as I just said, less games, the squad's going to have to be cut regardless, but less games, less opportunities for these young G's, keeping Lacazette. You know, can you really keep Lacazette, Balogun and Aubameyang and give them all significant minutes with Martinelli? On one hand, I believe you can, but unless there's an injury or something, it's a problem. You know, it is what it is. I am keen to see Balogun and Aziz get little minutes here and there. I would like to see them both out of their comfort zone, because I don't feel 23's football is for them anymore, especially for Aziz in the middle of the park. I think he's a great player, but he needs to be out of his comfort zone to provoke some urgency. As you lot know, you can score goals for fun at youth level. It doesn't always correlate, and we're going to need to give Balogun time, but it's all about how we're progressing these players. As I keep saying, I've said it with Saliba, I've said it with Gabriel, I'm saying it with these guys. You know, Martinelli, they're not going to be the finished article, but to get them to them long-term ones, you know, Saliba, one of the best centre-halves in the world, Martinelli, one of the best forwards, you know, all of these other things, we need a plan, and only time will tell if there is a plan. But I'm appreciating the comments, people. Keep them coming. I really do appreciate them. So it is what it is. I'm going to make that a temporary timestamp, because I think there were some good points mentioned by myself. I do not mind LACA 1 year extension. I don't mind it, and I'll offer my opinions a bit more. I don't mind it. I'm not necessarily for it, but I wouldn't say I mind it, if you lot get what I'm saying. What else are you lot saying? 116 of you locked in, though. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. Just before we continue, you know, we've all got obligations to fulfill, so I need to do one. Big up everyone. Please make sure you're checking out my description or checking out the link I've just put in the live chat for information in such, how to purchase such. So big up yourselves, people. Let's continue with what some of you lot are saying. Big up M. So no new striker in the summer, always the cheap option. To be fair, my dude, you're a smart lad. I know you expected no striker. You know, for me, it's not that I don't want a striker. I just think the priority is elsewhere. For me, I'm not going to lie, I would like a striker, because for obvious reasons, you know, Aubameyang's getting on. Lacazette's a great player, but he's not certified like that. Martinelli's going to need that healthy room for development, as is Balogun. So I would like a striker. But if I'm honest with you, you know, the striker is, as I give it as a house, you know, the striker is the solar panels, you know, the things that look wavy on the house, the driveway, you know, the things that people come and praise, the what's the word? I can never say it. The aesthetically pleasing stuff. That's the striker thing, you know. I think that can take care of itself. I still believe in Aubameyang. I think LACA can give you something. I think if you give the Sakas and Smith Rose and Martinelli, these attacking players scope to develop, they can do a thing for us. I know I kind of went left. For me, we need to look after the foundations first and foremost. You know, the centre-half pairing, what's going on there? Left back and right back. If Tierney gets injured, what's going on there? Right back, Chambers has been there. Maitland-Niles has been there. Bellerin has been there. And Prop Cedric has been there. And nobody, for whatever reason, no one's nailed that down. So I would like to see a right back come in. If Leno's going, can we bring in a keeper? You know, that's the spine. That's the foundations of your house. That's the plumbing. That's the making sure there's no asbestos. That's the installation. That's making sure water's running. For me, I believe if you fix the spine of this team, the rest will take care of itself. I think all Arteta needs to do, beyond the obvious, probably bringing in some creative players, is just give them man their freedom. Again, Aubameyang's probably declined, but I don't think you become a bad player overnight. I still think he can score goals. I don't think Lacazette's a goal scorer, but I think he can contribute as well as scoring goals. Pepe's coming into his own. Martinelli, give them scope. I think them attacking options, obviously, I want someone to come in, but I think there's priorities elsewhere. That's just me personally. So yeah, man, that's just how I'm feeling, really. Like my man said, I think there's other areas to improve way more. The strikers need more delivery. Gonzo, you're on the ball, my guy. You're on the ball. You're on the ball. Shout out to you. AM has said, big up the nation. That new kit is looking hard. I know certain men are going to be purchasing, bro. No comment. It looks wavy. Cronky out and that, but it looks wavy, people. I can't lie to you. And Arsenal are twanging me, man. You know, the transfer talk. All of these things are coming out just when there's season ticket renewals and shirts. So I'm gonna say no comment and plead the fifth. But you hear me? Like, I can't lie, man. I can't lie. No, it's wrong, but yeah, man. To be fair, we knew we're not making significant value or significant bang for our buck on Lacazette anyways. Let's be real. When you're buying them 50-odd million, man, you're not expecting to see your P's back. And I just think, you know what, Lacazette's a good player. For me, I don't think Lacazette should be a main player in that, you know, him, Chambers, El Nene, they've all had decent seasons, but they're not all quite good enough to be consistent. Lacazette isn't consistent like that. You know, even this season, he hasn't been consistent. He's come into his own and been consistent at times, but he was a shadow of his former self early in the season. Now, big up Lacazette. My point being, not anything to not a rock to hit them with, but over a 38 game period, there's not too many man we can believe in this squad. So a 1 year deal, you know, it gives us scope to maneuver. He's a good person to have around, the passion. He's a good option to have in the squad. I don't mind that. I think Lacazette would be a bit. I can rationalize it, but I wouldn't be looking to sign a 1 year deal. I'd be looking to run my deal down, really, you know, maybe staying for a year. The effects of COVID might wear off in terms of what teams are doing. But for me, you know, you never know what could happen. When people are looking at transfers, you might be able to scumbag your way into a Champions League club. For me, I'll be running down that deal. And I definitely want, whether I'm here for a year, 2 years, or what, definitely want some more P's on that contract personally. We're going to get into that article in a sec, people, but I'm very appreciative of you lot, man. I really appreciate what you lot are on, man. Man said, CS said, morning, DG, on my 6:30 a.m. jog, listening to you, Atlanta, Georgia, USA. Big up the Americans, them. Big up the ones, them that are living in Georgia, in the state of Georgia or Atlanta. Apologies, you know. Big up you for 6 a.m. jog. Yo, madman, I appreciate that, man. You know, health is wealth. I rate that sort of stuff, man. Really rate that. Big up you for that one, man. Big up Danny, you know. Again, Danny, Steve, I need them questions. Please open up another tab. Go to the community page and get your questions in, man. How's your morning been, DG? It's been calm still, you know, Tino. Shout out to you. It's been calm. You know, I got the DG podcast out the way. I've done a couple other bits and I'm here with you guys. It's been calm. I've had rougher mornings this week, you know, but it is what it is, man. You're gonna have to. Do you believe the Cronkies will spend big? I don't. For my opinions on the Cronkies, we're gonna have to wait till 2 p.m. where I've got the Q&A show where a couple of you have asked that. S is saying, another member, Sarad is saying, no, Laka needs to stay. You know, there's reasons to keep, reasons to go, in my humble opinion. You know, man, someone said, no, Laka has to go. I don't think Laka should be the first out. And I don't think we're going to get significant investment, but I do think selling him is the right thing. Equally, I do think keeping him is not. I don't think selling him is as bad as people are making out. I don't think keeping him is that deep. You know, Lacazette's been better than Aubameyang. Full play, fair play. You know, but one thing I'll give Aubameyang is historically he scored them goals. Lacazette's gone through these moments. I'm loving the current Laka. It is what it is. Dermot said Laka needs to be moved on, not good enough. I think that's harsh. I think Lacazette is great in the squad. I think if Lacazette had the goal scoring abilities of Aubameyang, I think we'd have our striker. I think Arteta likes him. He's not convinced over him over a 38-game period. I think the same rings true for Aubameyang. I think the same probably rings true currently for Martinelli, although that's subject to change. I think the same for Eddie. And just based on the fact that I haven't seen Balogun get that opportunity yet, and we know that one's a bit different, I have to say the same. And those of you that are regular viewers, you know I've said continuously, I believe if Arteta can, he will shine a striker. Gunnar King is saying we should renew Lacazette's contract, sell Eddie Nketiah, and bring in another recognized young striker to replace Eddie. I wouldn't even mind giving Eddie a new. I wouldn't mind selling him, but I wouldn't mind giving him a new deal, putting him on loan for a couple of years, seeing if we can put a couple more zeros on that, and then let man go. He might just renew to sell next summer. Also true, but again, you got to remember his time, his clock is ticking as a player, so there'll be an interesting one. They'd have to make, if I'm Lacazette, they have to make it worth my while. Big up the Jim Gooner TV. What happened to being ruthless? Giving Laka even a 1 year deal is a big mistake. He's been a major flop. He's never hit 15 plus in the Premier League or 20 in a season. He's a major reason why there's so much pressure on Oba. I hear you. I agree with the last bit, you know, but I think it's harsh. It's not all him. I just think Lacazette sums up Arsenal. It's that he's good in moments. You can't really believe in a man over 38 game period. I like Lacazette. I think he's a good squad player. That's why I don't mind keeping him. But at the same time, to make him top earner and all of these things, I don't think that's true. But again, if you're going to get rid of Lacazette, you need a plan. Whether that's okay, cool. For better or worse, next season, Balogun or Eddie or Martinelli or two of the three, you lot are getting opportunities through the middle, or we're doubling down on Aubameyang because you're going to need it. Because I look at football in terms of bodies. I've been saying Lacazette's a good player for the squad because you've seen it. Sometimes Lacazette has been the best option. Sometimes Aubameyang's been the best option. Sometimes both have neither. You know, they've imbalanced the team. Sometimes ones look better out wide. You know, sometimes, you know, there's loss of form. There's injuries. I think people underestimate that, and having someone in that squad. And so it's only with injuries like we've suffered where Laka had a knock. I think Aubameyang was suffering with malaria. You're seeing that we need a next striker. For me, I want to see Martinelli given that role, given that opportunity. But then I understand he needs scope to grow. And I don't mind them as squad players. I don't mind them as squad players, but it just feels a bit too nice. If we're betting on it, you know, if we're real, El Nene, I'd say out of all of them, my heart is telling me Lacazette to keep Lacazette, but out of all of them, I'd probably say it's probably best to keep Chambers just because he's a squad player. He's calm, even El Nene to a degree. Well, Lacazette the same. I'd probably say it's probably best to keep Chambers. But then again, out of all of that, we paid what, 15, 16 for Chambers, million? He must can get that back with a year left on it. He must can get that back. El Nene, we didn't pay too much. Must can get that back. But the question is with El Nene, are you man bringing in a midfielder? And there's talk of Torreira going, Guendouzi going, Joe going, Ceballos is gone, Odegaard, I don't know. There's a lot of midfield bodies to leave. So they might just say, you know what, El Nene, you can run down your deal, which I think, he probably will. Lacazette has to stay for another season. I'm loving the difference of opinions. If you say Lacazette has to stay or go, please also let me know your opinions as well as to why. It'll be nice to hear your thought process. Steve said, hey, DG, I thought of this the other day, but considering how managers are now being bought like players, Nagelsmann to Bayern Munich, do you think Arsenal loaning a manager is a possibility? Broski, I've said in my videos before, I think the not even just Arsenal, the future is loaning out, man. I think you see how nowadays no one wants to miss out on potential. So you see like Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo and Odegaard and all these guys, before they've really done anything in the game, just because of the potential they've got, they've been signed. I think the same's going to ring true for managers. Sorry, bro. I think that's going to be the case. I wish you saved that question for the Q&A show. Please come with an equally as great question. That is a fire one. I think it's going to get there because man are going to say, let's just see Arteta. Man might just see when Arteta is working under our Pep and saying, yo, listen, I hear what he's done with this guy, that guy. I think he's got this and that, let's buy him. City could do something like that. Let's just say Arteta started at Arsenal and they bought him and they said, you know what, you're going to take over from Pep. But right now, we're going to send you MLS. We're going to send you to the Liga. One of these clubs. And I say these things because as you lot know, City's got the City group. City's part of it, and you've got a couple other clubs, so that might be something. I firmly think that's going to happen. Firmly going to happen. Chelsea might have even loaned out Lampard and said, you're going to be the guy one day, but right now you're not. I think that's a lie. And these are the things that I used to say to myself about Lacazette never gets a run of games, never plays all our games and whatnot. This is the first season Lacazette's actually scoring away from home. That's a lot of excuses. I do get it. I was one of them that used to say, why is Wenger always subbing, man? When statistically, strikers get the most goals in the last 10 minutes in the Prem. All of these, they might be true. But Aubameyang's historically had that and scored goals. And there's plenty of other examples of other clubs. I think we just have to call a spade and say, while Lacazette's a good player, he's not certified. He's been here 3-4 years now. It's his fault alone why he hasn't got 15 goals. There's been 3 different gaffers he's played under and the one consistency. This is probably his best season no, it's not, because that season he got player of the season was great. But after that, this is probably his best season. And Lacazette's problem is he goes through moments. This season, we've seen a bit more consistency. He's a great player, but we don't need to make excuses, man. If he was good enough to score 20 league goals, you'd have it. And that doesn't mean I'm writing off Lacazette. Lacazette's a good player. And like I said, needs to be used in the squad. Would you sell Willock? For me, everything's on the table with Willock. Admittedly, I want to bring him back. But again, if he sits there and says, do you know what? Am I going to be the partner for Partey? Do I really want to, not that I don't want to fight, but I'm kind of playing week in, week out. Do I want to go back to what was happening? Where there's going to be less games next season. Do I move on? And for Arsenal, again, I want to keep Joe. But if you sell Joe for 30 odd million, and that means bringing in someone who's certified he can be used with Partey, then for me, it's a necessary evil. I just want to see the team make difficult decisions. I don't, we're never going to be the right decisions. It might be the right or wrong decision to get rid of LACA, Guendouzi, Torreira, this guy, that guy. But as I've said before, and I say it again, just double down in what you're doing in it. Just do it with your chest. That's what I want. I don't want Maitland-Niles is leaving. He plays in preseason. Now we're keeping him. That's not to say I don't like Maitland. It just feels like we're always bits and pieces, bits and pieces. I think we need another one. Hope you're not calling me a Lacazette hater. I could never be a Lacazette hater, man. But you're right. 17 goals, you have to give it to him. This is what I mean. For the squad, he's certified. Hold up play, link up play, all of these sort of things he's needed. I'm not too sure a squad needs 4 recognized strikers, but they definitely need more than one. Oh, his goals per... Lacazette's minutes per goal ratio is the third highest of any striker with 10 plus goals in the league. That's cool, but he hasn't got the, you know, we paid 50 odd million for him and he hasn't got the goals really. You know, it's a shame. You know, Firmino's job is completely different at Liverpool. And again, even this season, his lack of goals has been highlighted. You know, you throw him in that Arsenal squad, you're going to, you know, you're going to need goals from Firmino. Again, we know he's a creative man. We know that's not his role, but he's a good enough player to get 20 league goals and he should. I don't know quite what that means, Ryan. Again, Lacazette's good enough to get it, but there's got to be one reason why he ain't. He's having a great season. And like I said, for me, we need to keep him for the squad. If you're going to sell him, you bring someone in. I think people sleep. This is why I say there's too many extremes with Lacazette. You know, certain man are saying dead, good, whatever, you know, is what it is. The devil in me might be saying, similar to what we've seen with some other players, if he signs a new deal, is he going to drop off? I think that's a bit harsh, Jamal, to say it's a joke because it, you know, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Big up Dawid. What's up, DG? Greetings from Ireland. Looking forward to another content. I appreciate that, man. Like my guy Tim is saying, make sure you're hitting the like button, you're smashing the like button. And if I can't imagine you ain't subscribed, but make sure you're subscribing, man. If you ain't, oh, you're upsetting me, you're breaking my heart. Love the podcast, DGK. I love the fact that you love the podcast and you keep supporting the thing. Without you lot, it's dead. Oh, I don't think anybody's moaning about Lacazette. Danny, please, let's not do this thing, because if you know me on my channel, I'm not here for this camp business. You know, it's Arsenal. It's not Lacazette FC. It's not a Bamian FC. We don't need to in praising Lacazette. We don't need to bash a Bamian. We don't need to bash Lacazette. I mean, we don't need to bash either player. You know, we can recognize them both. They're both part of the squad. We don't need to. I hate fans that do BS like that. It's quite jarring, really and truly. You know, it really is. They're both good players. They both did their thing, man. Lacazette's hold up play and all these things are needed, but at the same time, goals need to stay. Goals are needed, innit? All I would like to say is Arsenal, I've been saying it, the minute Aubameyang signed a new deal, should be looking for another striker. Lacazette is 29 years of age, Aubameyang's 31, 32. Doesn't mean you write them off, but again, you know, we need to stop it. We need to replace players before it becomes clear, you know, because we over relied on Koscielny. Whether David Luiz signs a new deal or not, you have an issue there. Aubameyang now, you know, we need to just have a bit more foresight for me personally, man. I think that's lies, Jim Gooner. Lacazette's had more than one decent season, but I think people gas it. Lacazette is a hard-working player, and I love him for that, my dude. But the cynic in me would say, should I praise a man for working hard? You should be working hard. It's like when I sit here, even myself, and I say a midfielder, he gets around a lot, he runs around a lot, you know. Should I really praise man for that? I shouldn't praise man for that. You should be able to run around. Making coffee and DG on the tube, routine business. How are you making coffee on the tube, my guy? You brought your kettle. Respect that either way, man. Banter aside. Bro, 8 goals this season. Again, suddenly, you know, Mane and Finger drying up, you start seeing Firmino. You know, two truths can be real, right? You know, you can say a man needs to score more goals. He has got the ability to score more goals, but that's not his strength. That's not his forte for the team. You know, bringing it's not relevant because we're not Liverpool. Like, we are not them. LACA should be sold simply for business. This is the best time to sell him considering age and the season he's had. Cynic in me would say you've never probably been closer to getting 50 odd million, I'd agree. But then again, who is going to play there? And this is where the club needs to be proactive. Fans moaning about Kroenke are the same ones saying trust the process. Okay. Fair play. You know, should I save Lacazette? I mean, how many goals did Drogba get a year? Obviously, I know he's not Drogba, but you're seeing my Lacazette cape come out now. It hurts me when you lot rub out Lacazette, man. And that's the thing, you know, Lacazette, this is probably the first season I've seen a bit of prolonged form, but he's a good player, man. Like, I think people underestimate, you need a squad player. Like, even if you get rid of Lacazette, I want someone that has what he has. I can't lie. I love Lacazette. How can you? I'm a passing merchant, so I don't mind, man. Lacazette is a good player, but you know, is he going to be a main player at any of these top clubs? This is why I said to Lacazette, well, I didn't say to Lacazette, but I said I'd run down my deal. I think Lacazette can scumbag his way into a Champions League club, but that isn't anything, man. I've seen, do you know how many poor players we've seen? You know, I've seen certain players go from Tranmere to Bayern Munich. So I think that's a very lazy way of looking at things, Ryan, but you're entitled to believe such. Aubameyang is struggling because we barely create, but like I said with Lacazette, at some with people saying he don't start games, he don't finish games, he don't this and that. While the Aubameyang thing is true, my dude, Aubameyang isn't scoring goals because of something he's not doing. You know, winners take accountability, losers blame. Yes, the lack of creativity is stifling him and many other players. You know, he's had many things to deal with off the field, but somewhere around it, it's either what he's doing, not doing, or hasn't been doing for the reason he's not scoring. You know, I don't think it's a coincidence. And I think you've got to look at Arteta, why we've struggled for creativity. We've struggled for goals. And really, this has been the first season where collectively every attacking player has kind of struggled at a prolonged point this season. I think you've got to look at Arteta for blame for that, because there's got to be no coincidence. Man called Emre negative. That weren't really a case under him. So there's got to be a question mark there. But at the same time, my dude, like with Lacazette, like with this guy, like with that guy, you've got to take accountability. You're not having the season to remember because of you. Simple as that, in my opinion. Oh, Kieran's got an interesting one. Lacazette is good. Aubameyang is good. The problem is our setup, and that's Arteta's fault. Lacazette might hire Choupo-Moting's agent and go Bayern Munich. Lacazette offers something different to Oba. So if you sell him, I would say you need to get a similar striker. And this is it. It's a squad game. You can't have everybody in the same thing. Sometimes you're going to need both. Sometimes it's one of them games where, you know, it's not really a pace thing. You need Lacazette. He's very intricate. The link-up play with the Smith Rolls and the Sakas and stuff. Some games it's going to need to be in Aubameyang. Sometimes it might not even, you might not need either, really. You know, neither might not get the lot in. People fail to understand it's a 38-game calendar. You need different roles. You need different things. It just feels like Arsenal fans are always set in one stone. You know, the minute Smith Rowe came, oh, don't sign a creative man. Don't bring in Odegaard. We got Smith Rowe. Suddenly, there's injuries. Sometimes both men are not at it. You see why? You need a squad, man. You need a squad, man. And I do think people, as much as I like Lacazette, the things I like about Lacazette, you should be able to find pressing, hold up play, link up play. You should be able to find any of that work rate. That should be a minimum. Like, it shouldn't be so hard. It kills me to say it, but it shouldn't be hard to replace Lacazette. It should be hard to replace Aubameyang on the basis of goals win you games. Goals equals top dollar. I can't see us buying a top recognized striker, which is why I'm saying scout. Sorry, the minute Aubameyang signed that deal, you should be watching, man. You know, let's just say Patson Daka, for example. I'm not saying to sign him, but you know, you might not move for him this year, but you know, strikers are a bit weird. Strikers are good, and then you're waiting for that one uptake. Lacazette was one of them. We was linked with Lacazette for years. Wenger clearly was half-hearted about it, and we've signed him, and you kind of see why, in my opinion. But for me, you've got to look for a striker. You know, Patson Daka, was you watching him 2 years ago? All right, he's at this level. Next year, he's at this level. This year, that level. You know, you need to be scouting one. The minute Lacazette, Aubameyang, apologies, signed a new deal, you need to be looking at man for the future, because he's here for the present. You know, you need these present players. You know, I don't want to say it, but potentially Willian, Lacazette, Aubameyang, David Luiz, couple of others. They can set up the future. The future being the Martinellis, the Sakas, Tierney's not that old, all of these guys. So it's how you use them and utilize them, in my humble opinion. But it is what it is. Eid Mubarak to everybody out there as well, you know, especially my Muslim supporters. Don't ever think you're forgotten. You know, shout out to the Twitch gang. Please make sure you're all there for the Q&A. I've been very poor at that, people. Where is my Q&A link? I should be dropping that in the comments for you guys. And we'll get into the article in a bit, people, but I'm just liking the conversation you lot are coming with, man. You know, it's Friday. Why not do things a bit differently, man? Why not, people? Rules are there to be broken, and we need to learn from hindsight and apply better foresight. Will be the next timestamp. Big up the 261 of you locked in. Please, can we make sure that says 261 likes? Where are we at now? We're at 150. So again, 100 odd people are doing me dirty. You know who you are. Make sure you're hitting that, you know, please. Skytra said, hit that daily assist button, people. this is Laca's best season. I agree and disagree. Part of me, random guy, believes it is. I don't know why, but I'm inclined to believe with you. Personally, I don't think it is, because that season, I swear there was one year he won Player of the Year, and I remember being at the Emirates, and I told you once already, man, Lacazette scored, and I was at the Emirates, and he scored, and I was in the crowd, the party he was celebrating, and he was doing this, and not a funny thing, but our eyes locked, and the passion got the passion for football, of course, got transferred between each other. That, and for me, again, that's probably my heart. That's his best season. The year he won Player of the Thing, man. Clearly, I'm a passion merchant in it, so I love Lacazette, man. Lacazette's a baller still. Big up Harvey. I hit the like as soon as I joined, bro. I'm telling you, I was at the Emirates. I was celebrating. Lacazette was G'ing up everyone. We looked at each other, and trust me, trust me, he got it. He got it, man. He got it. I'm telling you. We shared that Arsenal moment, that passion, and see from that, I like, you get it. He gets it, man. Like, you see, I can't lie. If you're a passion merchant, I'll start riding for you, innit? Like, I love the passion merchant, and I feel them things there are gone, man. Them things there are gone, man. Look at you lot laughing, man. I'm telling you, this guy, I'm telling you, it happened. I'm telling you facts. Like, he was like, yeah, I was like, yeah. And there was a little pause, and then yeah, bro, it was amazing, man. Bro, I don't know about you lot, but I'm comfortable in my thing, man. Don't let me lock eyes with your girl. Calm it down, AD. You're a good guy. Oh, we did, fam. The passion for Arsenal was there, man. It was there. You lot will cancel me about not on a funny guy thing much. Nah, again, not on a funny man thing, but you get me? Like, it is what it is, isn't it? Like, a man said you could hear James Blunt. Now you're moving a bit mad, Ryan. I don't know about you. You're taking it to some spooky places, people. Love for football at first sight, 100%. There's so much to love about Lacazette, because he plays like the striker I wanted to be. You know, I'm small like him. You know, I'd have loved to have been wedge like him. You know, him and Defoe, I wanted to play like them. You know, it gives me hope I could still be a striker. It's just, yeah, man. I feel you coming at the wrong time. Bro, Lacazette's knee slide is something else, man. It's something else. I don't know if El Nene is the most passionate, you know. El Nene gets it, but I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. I think it's Lacazette for me. Loki is Tierney as well. I'm loving Tierney, you know, flying Scotsman, as I call him. Again, for me, once you're even Martinelli to a degree, I wouldn't quite say passion, but you could see him, like even the Man City game, you could see him gassing up people. You see, once you do that, you're in my good books. And again, I'm sounding like I'll just sign I'm sounding like I would sign a team of Lee Catamos and that, man. No, hey, touched my soul. Hey. We share the football embrace. I don't know about touching souls and, you know, and all of them sort of things there. Let's go back on course before someone clips up something, takes it out of context, and next thing you know, I end up on the Shade Borough. Oh, DJ, how can you do this and that, condemn this? Listen, you do what you need to do. DG, what's your favorite / most favorite / memorable Lacazette goal? Well, when we smacked up West Ham, and we're like what we at home, and I just spoke about it. The goal against, couple goals against Spurs. I'd say that performance against Liverpool. Anytime he's linked up with Aubameyang, there's bear, man. You know, there's bear, man. Checking in from Mississippi, farming the sheep. Big up Andrew and the Mississippi River people. Them appreciate that, man. Big up yourself, Gunner King. And this is what I love about you guys, man, because there's different opinions. Like, there's different opinions. No one's right, no one's wrong. It's just different perspective, man. Mickey, calm down, bro. Not everything requires a pause, bro. Like, you see, obviously we say pause when it sounds a bit mad, but you see, when you're too excited with that, you're suppressing things, bro. I'm not saying you're suppressing things, but there's a theme. When people are a bit too against something, the man there are hiding something. You're moving like one of them man there that are hiding something. And for the social justice warriors, again, people can like you, they like what, you get me? You're moving like you're on a funny boy thing. But moving forward, like, let's get back on task, man. As you can tell, I love Lacazette, man. Even the players you see me criticize all the time, bro. Like, Xhaka's a passion merchant. I love Xhaka. Again, I don't agree with it, but when he's telling fans to F off, both sides were wrong. I was at the game. Man are booing him, and then you're surprised he said F off. It don't mean you get to chat to don't mean you get to talk to someone any sort of way, man. But yeah, man, let's get on task. Let's get on task. Of Gwendozi again. You know, I was a bad youth in school. I was a bad youth in college. So maybe this is why I like them. Gwendozi sees one of them guys to get kicked out of class with me in school times as well. Shout out to all the witch war ones that ended school in 2011. Oh man, you lot are killing me, man. But you know, there's a fine line between that. Why aren't we going for Chahanoglu? I'm not really on that. I can't even lie, man. Yo, keep smacking up the mic. What's going on? Well, Guendouzi, do you know what? Guendouzi just needed to check himself. That's what led to his demise. He just needed to calm it down. You know, again, I just think it's a bit hard. Like I wanted Guendouzi to stay, but it looks like he's going somewhere else, really and truly, with you guys, people. But yeah, man. In all seriousness, let's carry on with what we're going with, people. Again, let me share the screen with you guys in a sec. Again, you know, big up Chris from Football London and all them Football London guys, as you lot can see, or well, you'll be able to see. Apparently, you know, there's significant ramifications in this article for our summer transfer business, or what we may or may not be doing. But as you lot can see here, Arsenal target 5 summer signings as Mikel Arteta and Edu seek to complete squad overhaul. Let's be real, we're not going to bring in all the players we need to bring in. We're damn well not going to get rid of all of these players that we need to get rid of. On the best of days, in the best of climates, we struggled. So with COVID, some of these players are down to the last years of their deal. Some of them have at least 2 years left. Again, I'm not too sure. And arguably, you know, whether you rate these players or not, I'm pretty sure there'd be players out the door before them without other variables. You have to sell the Guendouzi's, Joe Willocks, Torreiras, all of these sort of guys for a variety of reasons. They're the guys that if you're trying to raise keyword significant funds, you're going to. You know, who's going to bring in more but Granit Xhaka or Joe Willock? I say Granit Xhaka because, again, we spoke about yesterday, apparently he's considering his future. And I don't mind his one because I don't listen. Xhaka's done some calamities, but he's acted with integrity. And if he's tired of stuff, I don't blame him. But apparently, Arsenal will be in the market to sign players in at least 5 positions this summer. Football London understands. Again, will it be 5 players that are good enough, 5 players that are levels, or is it going to be 5 players? You know, more. I'd even say, even though it's 5 bodies, it'll probably be 3.5. There'll probably even be only one person that looks like a footballer, and then there's some other man. You know, because we signed the right winger, and it seems like his best performances are just in his restaurant. But moving forward, if you're listening to this and you know who you are, though, no agendas. If you want to give me a free voucher for your restaurant, I heard the meat is nice there. Pause. It's amazing. But as you lot know, well, in fact, let's scroll through that, man. Arsenal sit 8th. We know that. Let's not get depressed anymore. We know we're out of Europa League. But apparently, the first position they are looking to strengthen is in goal, where there is no trusted permanent backup to Bert Leno at the club as things stand. Arteta has been impressed by Matt Ryan in training at London Coley and could look to make his loan from Brighton permanent. Forgive me if I'm wrong. I could be lying. I could be wassing. But is Matt Ryan's contract not up this year, or is it a year left? I personally want Matt Ryan to come in. You know, I want to, you know, based on Leno apparently wanting to leave or not leave, we need to sign 2 keepers. You know, we somehow at times sign goalies that can't catch, Runnison. So again, scouts, please. But I wouldn't mind Matt Ryan coming in and being that second choice. And whoever that first choice be, go out and do your job. You know, shout out to Arthur Okonkwo for being in contract talks for a new deal. Again, you know, my man had a problem with his heart. You know, that's what kept him out of football for a long time. And I didn't speak about it when I told you lot first because it wasn't my place. But just to be playing football is a blessing. So it's lovely to see him getting a new deal. We've been linked with Raya again of Brentford, but them sort of man there, Brentford played hardball over him. You know, we went for Runnison because he was out the door. As much as I like Matt Ryan, he was kind of out the door at Brighton. He fell out of favour. You know, you never get the vibe that we're linked with Ryan Bertrand, you know, 1 foot out the door. You're not getting the vibe that there's players that we genuinely want, in a sense of, I'm not criticizing any, but it's not like we're actually forcing the issue. Because let's be real, I know certain clubs sell, certain clubs got, you know, their mandate is to sell, but you sell, you know, everybody's got a price, and it just feels, and nobody wants to sell good players, so you have to make it worth their while. You never quite get that with Arsenal. You know, Dortmund are a selling club, with respect to Dortmund. You're not getting Jadon Sancho, as you've seen with United, if you're not paying the buck. You're not getting Haaland if you're not paying the asking price. You get it? And it just feels like we don't force the issue. Whether we can or don't want to is another thing. But that's what I saw in it. This Raya Donny stayed at Brentford because Their asking price and what we thought were two different things, much like any other players. But we know we need to look at a goalie. And what concerns me is that we all know the obvious concerns over the team, but then you look at right back. If we just go on who started the last, well, who came off the bench in the last game, Bellerin, 2 years left. Leno, 1 minute he's staying, then he's going. For me, defense, we can't progress until we lock down the defense. Leno is part of that. I always say back five. How can you build for the future? It doesn't matter how much Arteta cries about preseason. If you ain't got these players, we're going to be in the same situation. So question marks over Leno. No question marks over Tierney apart from it. Can he stay fit? You get the problem there. Centre half, what are we doing? Again, you know, we know what we need to do. And even left back is probably complicated by needing to move on Kolasinac. You know, the team he went to on loan, they've been relegated. Apparently, they want to keep him. He's got a year left. We might as well just let man go for years. What's this telling me about cannabis gummy bears? I don't know why it's showing me that. You don't know. But anyways, people, left back is another area where Arsenal are prioritizing external recruitment in order to provide more orthodox backup to Tierney. Well, again, you know, it would be nice to just have two left backs, not a left back and a right winger who can play there and a right back who's never involved who can play there. Plug the gaps properly, man. Stop putting sellotape over holes, because you get, again, it's just, you know, at some point you have to change it properly. The Scotsman missed some of Arsenal's, well, the club's most important games for the campaign last night and last month, with Cedric, Granit Xhaka and Bukayo Saka all being called upon to fill in for him at various times. We all know Kolasinac is set to return. We need to move him on. Brian Bertrand apparently is in talks with us, in talks with City, in talks with Monaco, in talks with AC Milan. Quite the good pick for the 31-year-old. I've spoken about this Josh guy before. I like him. You know, I'm not watching Hibernian week in, week out. In fact, ironically, Dundee got a couple of decent Scottish young players, but I like this guy. And the last time we signed a left back from Scotland, it did all right for us. You know, I seem to be able to pick these left backs from Scotland, really, because I was screaming let's sign Robertson in his whole days, you know. I always trust them Scottish fullbacks. I'm on that. He's 18 years of age again, out and out option, 18, 19, however old he is. He's in his early years. Go and sign a man. Right back is the area we need. Apparently, Hector Bellerin has been heavily linked with a move away, while Calum Chambers, who Football London understands is set to be rewarded with a new contract extension, has just a year left on his deal at the end of the season. To be fair with you, then what does that mean for Cedric then? Because you'd imagine Bellerin is moved. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. 318 of you locked in. But you'd imagine Bellerin moved on, Cedric back up, second choice, whatever. And then, you know, new Donny. Where does that leave Chambers? Being a squad player? That's cool. You know, Chambers has shown over 38 games is a different thing, but he can be used at right back. He can be used at centre half. Obviously, he went to Fulham and accidentally started playing midfield again and bossed it. So there's that. Obviously, he's a former teammate of Arteta, and Arteta was rocking with him until his injury, and he was out of sight, out of mind. A bit unfortunate, but he's come back. I don't mind Chambers being part of the squad. We need a couple squad players. I'm happy with Chambers to be one. The problem is when you've got a 25-man squad, and this is away from Chambers now, you've got a 25-man squad, and you look at some of them can't even be squad players in the Championship, and we've got them as squad players here. I like Chambers because, like with Pablo Mari, he doesn't do things above his pay grade. He knows what he can and can't do. When he plays right back, he might not be the best, but he just looks like someone that has clarity over what he needs to do. For me, in comparison to Bellerin, he believes in himself and his abilities a bit more. Maybe that's because he played in centre mid. I think his football IQ is a bit higher, you know. Simple things like overlapping, you know, even Maitland-Niles used to do that. You see an uptake in performance. And for me, Chambers gets it. So I don't think too many squad players deserve a spot. There's that. The cynic in me would sit here and say, as much as I want to keep Chambers, the cynic in me would say, yo, listen, you know what? We've had him, you know what? He was there when, you know, Ward-Prowse, Shaw, all them and they were coming through. He's not really kicked on. Is he really going to get into the best team? You know, he's not going to play right back in an ideal world for me because we sign a right back. There's not going to be Europa League as well. Centre half, I think he should get a look in. Maybe he could be all right with someone like Pablo Mari, maybe someone like Gabriel long term, that it could be something in it. But at the same time, he might not get that. There's obviously the homegrown aspect to include as well, which obviously if you're getting rid of a potentially Joe, Maitland, Bellerin, who's Spanish but counts as that, you need to take these things into account because we do have registration and obligations to meet. So I'm not necessarily against that, but the cynic in me would say there's never probably been a better time, like with El Nene to a degree and Lacazette, there's probably been never been a better time for us to get our money back on Calum Chambers and then reinvest that into else things. Because what we signed him for 15 odd million, you'd imagine we can get that 15 million back. If you can't, there's a problem. You know, Hakimi, I'm not even going to entertain that. I would love Hakimi. You know, Lamptey, it looks like we've gone away from that, and he's had an injury hit season. I don't see Arsenal moving for that. You know, Norwich, they've just got promoted. Apparently, Max Aarons can go. I'm all for that. But again, Norwich have shown, you know, they're open to selling, but they'll sell on their terms. Jamal Lewis only went when Newcastle paid what they wanted. Ben Godfrey, a man who I was begging for Arsenal to sign, only when they paid what they wanted. Arsenal acting up over Buendia, you're not grabbing him. And any other club, whoever wanted Todd Cantwell or didn't want him, you know, you're not going to get it, you know. You're not going to get them players. So far, we've learned Bellerin's been linked with a move away. Chambers is to probably get an extension. Couple players are up for sale, people. Don't worry, I see that. I see this article, people. We're going to look at that in a sec. Moving away from that, though, central attacking midfield is another position where the Gunners would like to bolster their ranks. Contract extension talks for Smith Rowe are in the works. Come on. But the 20-year-old struggles with fitness mean that another option in the position would be preferable. And we need a squad, you know. I love Smith Rowe, but we need to give man scope to grow, because like with Saka, he's been a messiah, and the romance is going to go next season from Smith Rowe. Everything Smith Rowe does goes to gold. But really, these young players, they don't have time to be young players. They should, when we've seen Smith Rowe struggle, or more so Saka struggle, we should say, all right, cool. We can see their age now, and other players should pick up the slack. There's going to be hell of expectations on him, and he's got to relish it, but I don't think it's fair. And obviously, I think to a degree, we because it's difficult to say this about a man who only really got in the team in December, but we over-rely and overplay these players, you know. Arteta has spoken about this is his first year playing Premier League week in, week out. He cramps up, he gets injuries and all these things. Obviously next year you'd imagine that gets better, but help him. For me, I just care about, if you're not Lionel Messi, Neymar, Cristiano Ronaldo, you can't rely on one man. Smith Rowe's a quality player, but there's going to be games he's shocking. It's like we always look at, it's even been Odegaard, it's previously been Ozil, it's Smith Rowe, it's been Gabriel, it's been Partey. We look at one man respectively in these positions to change all our fortunes, and them things there, it's not a thing, you know. Hopefully he signs a new deal. Lovely to see that we're actually on the ball in that regards, you know, the 20-year-old. Hopefully get some new contract and you can buy a new motor and get some Louis V stuff that these players roll with. Apparently, you know, moving away from that, Football London understands Martin Odegaard would like to extend his stay in North London beyond the end of this season when his loan spell from Real Madrid ends, after being impressed by Arteta's project and being made to feel a valued part of the squad. And to be fair, shout out Arteta, because he has done that. You know, if we go off what allegedly you lot have said in that Smith Rowe and Tierney, there's rumours that if they're signing a new deal, they want to know what go on for Arteta. If we look at Saka, Balogun and Aubameyang, they've all signed new deals for various other reasons, but at some point, Arteta or Arteta's project. So there must be, whether he's lying, there must be something. His part A came in as well. Whether we're lying to people, there's got to be something, people, some sort of project that we're convincing people. I would love Odegaard to stay. We would love him, but it's out of our control. Real Madrid hold all the aces. There's no permanent option. There's a year left on his deal. Zidane's busting out, allegedly. So again, Odegaard might say, yo, let me go to Madrid and try again. Also, at the same time, as much as for that sentence I've just said to you, it screams romance to me. As much as I like that, let's remember this started off as a loan of convenience. He needed a platform to play. We messed around with creativity. We needed that. So there's that. Admittedly, I don't know where I stand now in terms of keeping him permanently and stuff. Not that we have an option. I don't know, man. Let me try and think of my reasons for. Because I think he's a bloody good footballer. I think there's more to come. I think he's adapted well. I think, you know, Arsenal struggle to bring in other players, so there could be that. I think you'll see more of him next season. I think he's got adaptability. I think he's been decent, you know, and he's shown he can be a leader. Why I would probably say no is if we can do it on loan again, why not? Have I seen enough from Odegaard to sit here and say 40 million, let's spend it? I'm only saying yes because I like him as a footballer and I believe Arsenal can do a lot worse with that. I haven't really seen him badding it up. You're not really, you know, you've seen the Leicesters, the West Hams, you've seen a little thing in Europa League, but I haven't really seen anything. And admittedly, I've said at the start of this, I don't care about his technical ability. I know you can pass the ball. I know you got eye of the needle. I know you got techers. You know, you're early 22-year-old player playing for Real Madrid. You're not going to get there without that. So these things didn't wow me. I need to see consistency and leadership. And I have seen elements of that, but also in a good way and bad way, he looks like an Arsenal player. When people are hiding and looking down, he looks like an Arsenal player. When we're playing well, he looks cultured. I have seen moments of him leading by example, Spurs, Leicester, West Ham, Benfica in the Europa League. But I have to believe, like, When he came at the start, I was thinking he's playing within himself. Then he started badding it up, like I'm saying. Now he's gone back to what I believe at the start. Now he has had an injury, and it has come to light that he was playing on that injury, which we've seen that with Bellerin, Partey, Xhaka, Saka, a lot of players where this is where Arteta needs to do better. Is it because of the injury, or has he reverted back to type? Is that middle patch, like I said, is that where Odegaard really is, or was that a purple patch? I don't know, people. And again, I would keep him again. I would want to keep him, but again, it is what it is. And obviously, you need creative players. You know, for me, Smith Rowe and Odegaard, they can both play as an 8. But I would like us to, you know, if you can get Odegaard on loan again, can you bring in an 8? You know, who can dictate the tempo of the game, so I can stop seeing Smith Rowe and Odegaard. Like, even though none of them were playing through the middle of such on Chelsea against Chelsea, El Nene and Partey played well, but because of their limited sort of passing, they're dropping deep. And that's something that happened with Santi before Santi started playing deeper in midfield. That's something that happened with Ozil. That's something that's going to happen with anyone who plays. That's happened with Saka in that role. That's happened with Joe Willock in that role. Again, they have to drop, but I would like these players to have confidence to stay more in the final third. And that's something for Arteta actually to address, people. But it is what it is. Apparently, money is set to be tight at the Emirates, and Arsenal may not be able to afford the 22-year-old. While it's also unclear that Real Madrid would be it's also unclear if Real Madrid would be willing to sell. The position the Gunners are set to prioritize, though, is centre midfielder. I mean, a blind man could see you need a midfielder minimum to play with Partey, but if either gets injured, what's the issue there? You know. And I also feel you need a squad, because who do we believe in? Actual centre midfielders. I don't mind Joe Willock coming and feeling a body, but actual centre midfielders at this football club right now, who is there? You know, Ceballos is gone, and really, you know, it is what it is. We've wasted money, really and truly. We've probably only seen a third of Ceballos' ability over both seasons, really. Maitland-Niles, it's not that you haven't done well at West Brom, but what have you done enough? You could be a squad player, but it's can we raise money? I don't mind Joe Willock coming back, but again, can you raise money? Guendouzi and Torreira's days are numbered. El Nene probably be allowed to run down his deal, and El Nene's one is complicated because of other players' futures. Granit Xhaka is a key part of this team. He's got 2 years left. What's going to happen there? You've heard rumors of staying, going, just about any damn thing, people. And for me, I like Xhaka. I think he's a squad player, but I'd have a problem with him leaving, not because of him. It's because you have made Xhaka the living, breathing heartbeat of this football team. If you let Xhaka go, even when Xhaka is left back, you see a drop-off. Arteta, do you have a plan to mitigate against that? That's all I want to know. If you've got that, then it is what it is. Happy to hear Miguel Aziz is expected to play more football next season and again do his thing. Crucially, Football London understands that both Brighton's Basuma and Sheffield United's Burge are keen on the idea of moving to the Emirates, but in both cases, the respective asking price for both clubs could prove to be problematic given Arsenal's restrictive budget. You have heard 30-40 million for Basuma and anything low as 25 to 35 million for Sander Berge. Now, personally, if Sander Berge is worth 35 million euros and Basuma is worth 40, I'm going for Basuma personally, because I like Sander Berge. I think he's somewhat a Rolls Royce of a footballer. I rate him a lot, but I just think Sander Berge, I just think in comparison to Sander Berge, Basuma is more what I need. He can pass the ball. He is a 6. And then I think, you know, you've got your 2 6s. You've got Smith Rowe and maybe Odegaard for next year. We can build with that. And then I would like to see an 8 come in, you know. But apparently, depending on circumstances, though, there is a possibility that their summer acquisitions will not stop there. And for me, Basuma is attainable. Basuma is attainable, but this is where what I said earlier about we need to know what we're doing and what we're doing correctly. Like I said, all of these names, it might be the best option to sell them. It might be wrong. Some of them we might look back in the year and say, why did we sell him? But do it with your chest. You know, I don't want to really get rid of Hayland boys in Maitland-Niles and Joe. But if the fees you can get for them two means you can bring in Basuma and the next man, then it's a necessary evil. Guendouzi, I'd like him to stay, but if you can make a quick profit, it is what it is. Torreira, it is what it is. Ceballos, it's never been what it is, as in his case. But like you can see there, people, man, there's quite the big up Football London, man. They've got quite the revelations being dropped here. But depending on circumstances, there's a possibility that their summer acquisitions will not stop there. Despite his desire to stay in North London, Football London understands that David Luiz is likely to leave the club when his contract expires this summer. Probably should. We're not a crest. I wouldn't mind him staying for the experienced players. I'd rather David Luiz stay than Willian. I'm going to, you know, we probably won't sell Willian. Willian will probably be here. But, I mean, if that was any other player, you know, we're talking about loaning them out or moving them on now. We can't just rip up his contract. I don't really want to. It would be an even bigger embarrassment that we'd have to rip up another contract. I think the best way of getting Willian gone is that you're loaning man out, and they pay a wage fee, they pay his wages and a loan fee, or you just say, you know what, you can leave. We bought you for free. You can leave for free. You know, Willian's going up there with Mkhitaryan for me and being one of the most expensive free transfers in this world, people. As things stands, there is no intention to look for an external replacement, with Saliba and Mavropanos set to be given a chance to state their claims to be included in Arteta's squad next season to provide competition for holding at right-sided centre-back. Personally, I think we need a centre-back, but I think Mavropanos and Saliba do deserve that opportunity. For Mavropanos, I think the way he's been playing at Stuttgart, he deserves it. I don't think Arteta will lean upon him because I still think he's got a lot to learn. I think in comparison to what he demands of his centre-halves, the others kind of trump him in that. And also, when you look at Saliba, Mavropanos and Gabriel, they're all at similar ages, and we've spent significant outlays on 2 of the 3. I think Mavropanos has a great thing going for him at Stuttgart. They understand the man with his injuries and whatnot. They're giving him a platform. It could be well to stay. Then obviously they've got Mislintat, who's already, like it says here, signaled his intention to extend the loan. We've looked at Yochin Anderson. Can't we just, you know, Edu, I'm not being funny. Is there not a youth in Brazil, 26, 25-year-old guy that we could sign? You know, why are we always linked with these sort of names? You know, and Eddie Nketiah's got a year left on his deal, and it looks likely he'll depart at the end of the season. Apparently, Lacazette, meanwhile, has impressed this campaign with 17 goals in 42 apps, but also has 12 months remaining on his contract. The Frenchman is set to hold talks this summer with the Gunners, set to offer a 1-year extension. Football London understands, but with Roma, Atletico, and Monaco all said to be interested, the club may well cash in on him in order to fund other moves if he does not accept their terms. As you lot can see here, we've been linked with Dembele of Lyon/Atletico, and we've been linked with Celtic's Edouard as well, 2 former PSG products. And obviously Balogun signed a new deal. So I wonder what that means for him if he sees a new striker come in. Lacazette signed a new deal, and obviously the young G's around. As I always say, promises are a comfort to an idiot, but it is what it is, people. So as you lot can see here, people, we've learned quite a lot, or haven't learned quite a lot. And Arsenal have also brought out the yellow kit. Stan and Josh Kroenke have apparently signalled their intention to invest in the club, but if they are to complete as much transfer activity as Mikel Arteta wants, then Edu will have to oversee a sizable number of outgoings to help raise funds. And again, this is where we let's be real, we should have known for a while what we're doing in the window. We can't just wake up in July or June or now and say, oh, we need to get this guy off, we need to do that. The bulk of these things should have been decided in December, but you know, we're reactive in all facets of this football club. What seeing is believing, really and truly. You know, we'll see what happens in that regards. People firmly will, but in relation to that, that's what it is, man. 400 and whatever of you locked in, please make sure you're hitting that like button. I appreciate you. Let me see what you lot are saying, but just before that, big up you lot, please, people. Make sure you're hitting that like button, and make sure you're also here at 2 p.m, people. 2 p.m. is Q&A day. Well, members Q&A. So it is what it is. I see someone saying they're checking in from LA. I appreciate you. You know, Hakimi's the truth, but again, we're going to sign him and recognize that his strengths are more going forward, and then we're not going to do a madness. You know, a 1-year extension isn't the worst, but for me, it's all, if I'm Lacazette, I'm not accepting it. It depends on the money, but I wouldn't accept it personally. Big up H. Yo, DG, just got a new job. We'll catch up on the streams very soon. Stay well. On behalf of everyone, shout out to you, H, for getting a new job. That's what it's about, man. That's what it's all about, man. We're all about elevation. So I appreciate that, man. You know, keep doing you, man. Keep pushing, you know. Keep trying to get better, man. I think people overrate Burge, but I think he's a decent player still. I think he's a decent player, man. And my guy Ben, that's why I said apparently, you know, it's estimated from 25 to 30, but you're saying it's dropped to 11 mil. Oh, I'm not sure about that, but be all right, man. I didn't say I'm content with Xhaka. It's not making sense. I just said Xhaka's not as if me saying Xhaka isn't as bad as people make out, if me saying I like his ability is what it is. You know, I mean, I think he's got better ability than people give him credit for. Then you're gonna have to shoot me. I don't know why you're copy and pasting that, but fair enough. As I keep saying, ladies, if you know you the man don't like me, please headphones, man, headphones, headphones, headphones. You know, even if you don't want to make it bait and you got your headscarf on and you're doing stuff around the house, be like the Arsenal coach and just slap that in it. You get me? Like just slap that in. Simple as that. Or your man's gonna start, you know, being a twat in the comments, man. But he's literally one minority. Everybody else has been certified, man. I appreciate everybody else, man. We're all having some interesting debates, but you know, YouTube's free. Even idiots are gonna get onto that. Big up DG. Been doing my research on Sarr of Met's future should be bright for the lad. Facts. We need him. 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 We need him, man. For me, him and someone else is calm. I'm sick of hearing we have to raise funds, especially with our recruitment team and how poor we are at selling players and getting the maximum. I hear you, but it is a necessary evil, man. It is a necessary evil. If I'm completely honest. I mean, a player aged 25, 26 still in Brazil at that age isn't going to be at Premier League level. That's a lie. You know, Jamie Vardy started playing football in the Premier League at 28. Footballers come from all walks of life. You know, it's just about doing your due diligence on the person, on the player. I think that's very stupid and quite a just damn right an ignorant way to look at things. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't matter. You know, where was Kante at 24? You know, I'm pretty sure many people that didn't know him weren't really rating him in the second division at France. So again, not everybody's that. My point being, just don't be a dickhead. Like, come on, man. That them two, especially when football is such a game where it's not about none of that, man. It's not about none of that. Nicola, you are deluded, bro. Well, that's why my name is deluded, man. That's why your bitch lover, nigga, man. What can I say? What can I say? Cell Chambers, can't disagree with that. Xhaka is unique in terms of his style of play. He needs a very special partnership for him to flourish. Unique's a very nice way of putting it. I think that's a way of going around it. I think Xhaka is a squad player at best. I think Xhaka's capabilities are not given credit for by fans, but he's extremely limited in what he wants to do. And for me, you know, if Xhaka is key part of your team, you're only gonna get so far. That's just me, man. I'm not too sure that's the case, but fair play. Smashing out the live streams, bro. Putting in hard work as always. You've got to, man. You've got to. What else have we got? Mickey said, "Can you guys please finish above Spurs? Can't stick him as a West Ham man. I would love to. I would love to. I would love to, but boy, it's not up to me, man." Yeah, but even that, you know, I'm not really on that. Like, Xhaka's a squad player at best for me. You know, again, I like Xhaka tries to take responsibility, works hell of a hard. He's never injured. You know, the game kind of runs through him. But for me, bro, a lot of the things he's praised for are minimum. You know, Xhaka does hell of a lot of dirty work, but it's dead, man. Squad player at best, and this is it. You know, these sort of players, you know, David Luiz and him, they're key parts of the squad, but you're only gonna get so far with them as key parts of your squad. I'm a neutral. You'll know better, DG. I think now is the time to sell Lacazette while he still has value and reinvest in other areas. And this is where there's no rights and wrongs, really and truly. You know, there's every reason to keep him. There's every reason to let him go. Yeah, DG, you should link up with Turkish from AFTV. You're saying from AFTV like I don't know who Turkish is. I know who Turkish is. Shout out Turkish, man. That's my guy. We all fear, man. You know, war chest, bullish talk, season ticket renewals, new kits being dropped. It's coming like a typical summer as an Arsenal man. But let's see what the club is on in it. I'll give him that. You know, I'll give him that. I won't comment until I see certain things, man. I wouldn't bring in both. I think when you've got Basuma and Partey, if you have Basuma and Partey, I think you can look to bring in a couple more expansive sort of midfielders. You need different mixes and blends, man. I think if you've got Sander Berge is obviously very good technically, but I don't think there's a need for Partey, Berge, and Basuma personally. I think you have two of those. You know, they can be played with each other. One can be used in place of each other. If one's injured, obviously knowing Arsenal, both will be injured at a point, but one could be used, and then you bring in some more expansive players, man. Xhaka, you know what it is with Xhaka? He's just one of them, man, that there's no balance with speaking about him. He's either the worst thing ever or he's the, I can't believe it, but there's Xhaka stands out there. When it's in the middle, is that the man has a lot of deficiencies, but he's had a better season than some, again, kind of highlighting things. If El Nene, Xhaka, these guys are up there for the top performers, you've had a bad season, personally. Thoughts on Zanolio, bad boy footballer, just had a horrible time with injuries. Again, hope he can not have these long-term injuries because it's going to rob him of a good career, man. You real talker, bro. Just keep rolling. Do you think we can still make Europe? I guess you're trying to say, H. I wish I could sit here and give you an answer. I wish I could give you an answer, but I can't. I don't know. I really don't know. I really don't know. I really don't know, man. I think this will be a summer of change. The fans have spoken. Michael, bro, I hope so. But for me, I just want the club to do less chattings and make it happen, innit? Like, what could we say? I'd have to give credit where due. I just hear a lot of over talking and under delivering. If you under talk and over deliver, what can fans sit here and say? That's something good. 266 likes, people. Keep running that one up, man. Aaron's, Basuma, Buendia are all realistic and should be the focus. I don't think we'll get all three. We've got to remember the English premium. But it's a point. It's a good point. You're right about that. Link up with Turkish via AFTV. Well, surely that's something that you don't have to put at the feet at Turkey or put at the feet. Apologies of Turkish, of Robbie, of these things. It's not down to me, man. Like if I could, we would. But what do you want me to do, bro? Man, can't just go there and ask. There's got to be something in it. I can't just sit here and beg, man, for nothing. This is it. Over talking and under delivering. This is it, man. Just let's talk. Just bring people in. Simple as that. Simple as that. Did you hear about Kieran Gibbs retiring because of a long-term injury issues? Last I heard about Kieran Gibbs is he's going to Thingy Kimberley. He was going MLS or something. So unfortunately that's upsetting to hear that. You never want to hear anyone's got problems with their health and whatnot. So hopefully that's nothing serious, man. I'm done with the club. They thrive on failure. Fan base are sell out, buying the banana milkshake kit P. It is what it is, bro. And this is it. AD, he's valuable to us, but that master facts that his mistakes can be too detrimental. Facts, and more facts, my guy. Like Sia said, gotta harass AFTV if you want deluded back on there. No point doing it here. Trust. There's nothing I can do. Can't put a gun to no one. Say I can't force no one. If they wanted, all I would say is if the man then wanted me, I'd be there, innit? Like if Robbie wanted, man, he knows where my phone is. But shout out Robbie. Well, he don't know where my phone is, but he knows where my number is. You lot ask the done. DGTV, come on. What else is there to refer to or speak about? Well, I'm not going to go over it, but apparently Marseille want Guendouzi, and Guendouzi wants to move to a Champions League club. Can't fault that. Apparently Sander Berge is keen on the idea of moving to Arsenal, as Football London also said, but a lot could depend on Odegaard, and if he's signing on the premise of just playing with his friend, then this ain't the club for you, man. I want man that just want to play for the club. What day is Rum Day? Do you do that with the Q&A? To be fair, I ain't even Rain F is done. I need to go Harry's and buy some, really. So there is no Rum right now. So we're just gonna have to hold it up. But yeah, man, if it was, it is. It's Friday, so it's time to let that little hair I have on my head down. Why not, man? Why not? I'm with this club to the end, as much as it pains. Facts. Man said, get out of here, DG. Just walk over to AFTV and be like, Robbie, people deluded, he'll find a slot for you. Hey, Robbie's a busy guy, you know. Man's got 1 million subs and all of those things. You know, he's got things to do. Do you like the I like the kit as well, man. And why I'm saying don't buy the kit, people work up well fighting, man. I can't lie, man. I can't lie. It's amazing. Still that DG 13 on the back could be done, man. Come on. You got your own thing, DG. Ride that lane until you hit a fork in the road. No hate on them, but it's definitely a generational thing. Shout out Alexander, man. I appreciate that praise, man. Appreciate that praise, man. I appreciate that praise. Would you take Kesse from AC Milan? Bro, would Kesse take us? 100%. Denied a banger. He was denied an absolute banger against Man United in the Europa League. Absolute banger. We're at 278 likes, people. Please make sure you're running up the like buttons. Let me actually get the Q&A link for you lot, because, again, shout out to the members. Members, keep getting your questions in. Where are we at? That's that one there, people. So make sure you're all there. We need someone like Grealish to take the pressure off Smith Rowe and Saka. Also, what a big club would do, bro. We just need someone like Grealish because they're effing good footballer. But easier said than done, man. Them man there, you got to sign them from time. You have to hurt them where it hurts. Keep buying the kits and stuff, and they will carry on regardless. They're going to carry on, because someone can say, I'm not buying kits, I'm not buying tickets. There's going to be 1 million people to not do such. I think the best way, I hear that, and I agree with it. But I think the best way, considering human nature and the unhealthy obsession we all have for football, is just to keep making noise. Do what United fans are doing. EG 13 unlucky for some. Bro, 13 is never unlucky for me. I've just got bad luck anyways. So it don't mean nothing for man, really. Sandro 19. We look brazy on that one as well. Now that sounded rubby, bro. I can't lie to you. It sounded like a bench player. Sounded like the man there meant to play against Dundalk and that. I can't lie, now I'll play it, man. Alright, Aaron. Allow Aaron. I don't know what Aaron did. Moderators, what do you do? What do you do? Would you take Elise? Yeah, of course. 100%. 100%. 100%. Who wouldn't? You know? Baller. I'm playing, man. You sound like them Dundalk players, man. You sound like you're gonna partner El Nene in the midfield, and that's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like you're one of them Arsenal duns where they're talking about, should we renew your deal? That I'm playing. Sancho's my guy, man. He needs to come on here as well. Armour 13 on the back. Because you know what? Can you rock with the 13, number 13? Facts. You know how much it kills me to see goalies wearing number 13? Crazy. Like, how you doing my number like that? We need guys like Balak to put respect on that number again, man. Favorite number in that. Are we really offering these guys new deals? Thought Arteta said we needed to be ruthless. Boy. I no problem with Ireland, man. Dundalk was just the first team that came into my head, man. Shout out the Irish. As I always say to you lot, we need the luck of the Irish in our team, and you lot are not throwing that our way, man. Heard rumors about Bellerin going to Bayern Munich. Well, boy, you know, they've got a couple Spanish. Well, Martinez is leaving. They've got Roca there. Do your thing, Bellerin. Go do your thing. That's good for all parties, man. Gnabry there as well. Go link up with your guy, but that's probably where it's come from, you know. Hopefully, no cap. Hopefully, because again, we need to stop the love stories and whatnot. Certain players have reached the end of the road with us. 351 of you locked in, 285 likes. We're so close, but so far to 300 people. I think it's a good decision to offer Lacazette another contract. Probably. Let's banter them after we sell him. If this is true, I'm beyond disappointed. Big up DG. I did it. When's Copa America? In the summer. BBC will televise all Copa America games. And again, does Torreira want to sort out his future before or after? Obviously, that has ramifications for us. You get it, man. Best memory of Bellerin? Probably Bayern Munich game, you know, I'd say, to be fair. You know, Liverpool. One time where I swear Alexis and Ozil scored, and I think Bellerin chipped in. He's played all right against Chelsea a couple times. But I'd say Bayern Munich, in fact, you know, because I think he got spanned. He got spanned and then by Douglas Costa, and then he kept going, man. I see why you can't have the keepers, man. can't have the keepers. Bro, I'm only going off what Football London said, man. There's no need for caps. Calm down, man. It's It's Friday. It's a nice day. Week's almost done. You know, no Arsenal to ruin the weekend, and you're excited. Relax, my bro. I don't know what Stardog is, but I see all you lot say you're always doing something in the live chat with that. Someone might have to slap it to Donny because calm down, bro. Just calm down. They're still friends. That's probably where the bulk of the rumors are coming from, if I'm completely honest with you. Purely on aesthetics, do you bring up the Twitch gang? Do you rock with Arsenal's away kit next year, broski? Aesthetics or not, it's a bad boy kit. Let's not lie, man. Let's not lie. It's a lovely kit. Let's not lie, man. Like, it's amazing still. That's the wickedest thing about the club. Leno is going to is going according to an interview with German news. So if he's doing an interview, I wonder what it's about, man. Leno does a lot of chatting. Charles, there is no chance Grealish comes to us, but every time he flirts with how good Saka and Smith Rowe are, every time he talks about how good Ozil was and some of his and how the Emirates was the best coach and best stadium he's played at and whatnot, and how good of a coach Wenger was, it gives me hope. But apart from Football Manager, it's dead. 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 It's a cold kit, bro. It's a cold kit. It's just like the hoodies and that. I can't blame anyone for buying the kit, man. But less of the kit talk, man. Is Willian going? Probably not. Apparently, allegedly they said he feels comfortable. He feels comfortable in England and he doesn't want to leave, really. I don't know, man. I don't know why we gave Cedric a 4-year deal. I don't know why. All I could say is mismanagement because it's not making sense. It's not making sense. Absolutely not making sense. I don't know what they're on, man. But it is what it is, isn't it? Have you seen the leaked third kit? I haven't, you know. Is it the one? Is that the bluish one they're talking about, where it looks like a kit we had a few years ago? Well, I say many years ago. I'm not clued up on that. Don't even know what the home kit looks like. Big up yourself, B. I'm decent, man. I'm calm still. I hope you're good as well. And Ketty or Balogun 20 times over. And I haven't got anything to go off in the professional game with Balogun because he hasn't got a big enough case thing. But I just think Balogun's different with it. Balogun feels a bit more proactive. Eddie's very reactive. And I don't really like that with Eddie, if that makes sense. Do you trust Edu? I haven't seen enough to wholeheartedly say I trust Donny. I don't trust Donny. You know, I don't trust anyone at Arsenal Football Club apart from Saka and Smith Rowe. And Tierney. I don't trust nobody, really. You know it's effed up when the kit is more enjoyable to watch than the games, bro. We ain't got a lot of things, but at least we got drip, man. Camavinga would love him, but once again, dream chasing. Remember Bergkamp left into 10th place in the league when they were to join 10th place in the league. Arsenal, they did. Last time we did have a season like this. We did sign Bergkamp, but times are not there, man. We're not that Arsenal anymore. And it's not just in terms of being bullies and things like that. It's just in how we carry ourselves. And I'd say for the people around us, you know, are we making brave and bold decisions in terms of recruitment internally, externally? We're not making brave and bold decisions. Future favors the brave. We haven't done that. So our future hasn't been favorable to us. It's been a madness. It's been an absolute madness. So make of that what you will, man. Are we expecting a new captain next season, DJ? I'd love it to be Tierney, but I wouldn't like Aubameyang to be stripped of it. Do you trust Mertesacker? I think Mertesacker's doing a fantastic job with the Haaland boys and all of those sort of things. Don't be like your bro Curtis and get sucked into buying the kit. Remember the Kroenke out campaign. Always remember it. But realistically, me not buying the kit isn't going to do much. I don't think we should be buying it, but it isn't, you know. Not everybody's of that thinking. I tried to do that, never going to stadiums-ish. And then I'm seeing other people going to stadiums. So what's the point, man? But you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. At least while we're crying, we'll look decent in that new kit. And it'll only set you back 60, 70, 100 quid if you buy the authentic one. It'll only set you back a pretty penny, you know. Is where it is. Best footballer to wear number 13. Realistically, the only one off the top of my head is Ballack. You know, I'm not talking about none of these keepers. Broski, any news from Daniel Ek? I wish, man. I wish. I've been streaming on Spotify, but I've seen nothing. It seems like one and done. Hopefully he comes back, man. You can still buy the kit. You can buy the kit and still be Cronk out. It's not a big deal. All right, just when you see me with the kit, you know what I'm going. If I am getting it. What is the point of Leno going to the Euros? The guy is never going to play. Ter Stegen already struggles to get game time. Well, you know, well, to be fair with you, well, you know, who doesn't want to be at the international tournaments, man? Can't begrudge him for that. Probably is on chattings, but to be fair, we know it's not gonna be a quick turnaround, man. Bro, that kit is hard. The kit is cold. It's not hard. It's hard not to purchase, bro. I hear you, man. I really do. I really do. We're at 301 likes. There's 326 people locked in. I'm very appreciative. Keep running that one up, people. Keep running that one up. Bro, I can't lie. Ajax's third shirt. That's the one with where they're paying homage to Bob Marley. 100% getting that. And you know me, I love PSG's kits. So 100% have to grab a PSG kit of some sort next season as well, people. I can't sit here and cap. But I can't lie, people. I'm going to be back again in an hour, so I'm going to keep it moving temporarily, you know, get a dinner, get something to eat and all those sort of things, freshen up, and then we've got a Q&A, man. You know what? Shout out to you, B, but spell your own name. This ain't no spelling, B. I don't know what that is, but anyways, people, like I was saying, Q&A business later, people. Make sure you're all there. I've dropped the link in the description. I'm in the live chat. This video, when it's done, it will finger you, take you over there, people. So yeah, man, you got your stuff there, people. You know, the content doesn't stop. Again, it's a busy day. Probably not gonna live stream on Saturday because there's nothing to live stream. Well, in fact, no, I might do a live stream for the FA Cup final. Sunday, I probably won't do anything. And then we're back on it because we've got Crystal Palace midweek, people. Members, please make sure you're getting your questions in. If you ain't got nothing to say in the community tab, please make sure you're commenting your opinions and whatnot in the live chat. I can't go off that live stream without you lot answering things. So, yeah, man, I will enjoy my lunch to see, man. Chicken wings and rice as usual, man. As usual, really, you know. It is what it is. But on that note, message from the sponsors before I keep it moving. So yeah, people, check out the links in the description. Check out the links in the live chat. Please make sure you've hit the like button. You know, please make sure you're subscribed. Please make sure you're hitting the reminders. And obviously, I'll catch you lot in an hour and 7 minutes, people. Like I said, I'm like a bad smell. Don't go away. I'm out.